Wow.
Man, come here, man. You didn't hear. Hello. I was merely paying homage to the man's question.
I just want you.
Right?
It's part of the master's plan.
Man shine. They get swans.
All right. Good day, good morning, good evening, good night, everybody. We are here. This is a shot of Soca, and we are on set with some amazing people today. You know, definitely want to shout out my co-host. Morning, Annie.
Good morning. Now you tell people what time we're recording. Good morning.
Well, I know it has been so hard for me because it's a natural thing for me to know what time of day it is. So I adjust people according to the time of day. I can't change that. So, morning, everybody. Morning. It's always morning somewhere. All right? You know, so hi, Annie.
Hello. Good morning.
Honestly, we're sharing a mic today
I know.
because we have full house.
Full.
House.
Listen. Full house.
So I go hold the mic and I will give it to you. All right?
Thank you.
We have the amazing Freetown Collective with us. You know, you see the whole crew is here, and that is what we love to see, man. Welcome to London.
Thank you.
Welcome to the UK. You know, it's cold for some people here, though. It's cold for you. It was cold for you.
I okay today.
You okay today?
Today's a good one.
Today's it's going to be like 25 today. Yeah? It's going to be
Sun
hot.
outside.
It's going to be real hot.
Hey.
No,
So it'll be a good day.
No.
Not real hot.
It's going to be real hot.
We need
If-
30
It's
degrees though.
not real hot.
If all you reach on the train and all you see people be back, it's real hot.
Oh boy.
I'm telling you. You have a whole cardigan on. You cold, right?
No, I paid in cold water since day before yesterday. I'm a Londoner now.
Oh, wait. What? You're bathing in cold water?
Yeah.
But on the Thames? Wait.
In the London shower.
In the London
Good old
shower?
London water.
So you'd even boil a little bucket of hot
Where
water
you
for
finding
me?
a bucket in London, my G?
Right by the
off
corner.
license?
They have a shop by the corner selling bucket
You
and
know how
thing.
hard it was to
We couldn't find a
broom.
broom.
Even a broom.
We couldn't even find a broom.
See, there's Hoover.
Everybody say there's Hoover.
Yeah, there's
Well, Hoover is the brand, but we know it's
Yeah, I know.
vacuum.
What the man
but
say?
still,
It's actually true. We
Yeah.
people do.
People do that. You know?
sweep the kitchen and you hoover everywhere else.
You what?
Sweep the kitchen and hoover
What
everywhere.
is sweeping the kitchen with? We couldn't find a broom.
Broom or dustpan?
A dust.
The dustpan.
Yes, watch me. Real politics gonna yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, we start.
Shout the whole England, man.
Let me tell you what's going on today, right? We have Freetown Collective here, and they're here they're in London because I don't know if they like London, they love London, but they're here to bring some positive vibes to London. And we have the amazing Melanie in the corner there on my far left. You know, we have Mohammed, we have Lou, right? We have Rokas, Shana, and Tashana.
Madam,
On the end. I remember Ochmer. That was a hard test, you know. That was Ochmer.
Yeah,
My
price
pores
to
on
get
them
for
was
that.
sweaty. Pores on them was sweaty.
You have a price to get for that.
Don't start now. Don't start that, Lou. Don't start that. You know, the first thing I want to ask, right, is who is Freetown Collective? You know, the London people really want to know who is Freetown.
Who?
Yeah, who? Who are you all? What do you all represent, you know? Yeah.
Any takers?
That's your designated question.
As you live.
To explain that for me, because I'm sure that every person sitting down here will have a different answer in certain ways,
Right.
Where it started for me, where the name came from, is in the mid 1800s. A group of Africans from West Africa came to Trinidad, and they came as indentured workers, not as enslaved Africans. So they had their own money and they were free. And they bought a large piece of land and they called it Freetown. And they would buy other people, and people would come there and work and pay them back. And so there was this very revolutionary place in the mid 1800s in the middle of Trinidad. That history was lost because the place was renamed Belmont. And I didn't find out until my... Sorry?
Your hand is blocking the microphone.
Oh. Yeah, that history was lost. Place was renamed Belmont. I didn't find out until my early 20s,
Right.
mid-20s. And I found that was a real powerful thing to kind of base the mission on. And we started kind of talking about the idea between Lou and myself. And when we came to London was when we decided to name the band Freetown. So
In 2015.
2011.
2011. So you all
yeah.
came 2011.
Yeah.
And then
Before
2015.
Before we were
as Freetown.
known as Freetown.
Okay, all right, nice. Wow, look at that history already, and I love that. It's all about the culture and bringing us right back to Belmont, a notable part of Trinidad and Tobago, for various reasons, But it being called Freetown before, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. So, Tashana, I know you're over there. So, for you, what does Freetown mean to you as being a part of this amazing band? Or collective, I should say, sorry.
What does Freetown mean
Yeah.
to me? I think for me, Freetown is a musical group that really comprises of Lou and Muhammad, who started it, and then was so gracious enough to open it up to allow support from other persons to come in. So when I think Freetown, I think that first. And secondly, when I think Freetown, I think of the fact that it's much easier to be yourself and to not be fake as you move through life when you feel free enough on the inside to unapologetically be yourself no matter who's looking at you or what they think.
That's what we're talking
So
about.
that's my interpretation of Freetown, and that is also what the band Freetown is
Yeah,
in terms of these two that then open it up to us.
nice.
So you get two answers.
I get two answers in one. Boom,
That's right.
bang. You're shooting straight. I like that.
Straight shots,
Straight.
never miss.
Sean, I feel like you wanted to add something.
No, I was agreeing with everything she
Oh, you was
said.
agreeing?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. All
Being
right.
yourself freely, boldly.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Well, my wonderful co-host Annie here. She's the one that really constructs the questions. She just have me talking, and then she just start writing stuff down, and then she just make sense of it. So Annie, there's your first. No, I tell you, that's how it does go. I just start talking, and she would just start writing stuff, and then it would just make sense. And Annie's brought me on to a shot of Soca, and this is our first full cast of, and it being our first full cast, and it being I'm a fan of Freetown, and he's a fan of Freetown, and I know she want to talk to all you, so let me just do this, and I want to just be a fan for a minute.
Good thing.
Okay, so I would like to ask you, why was Freetown Collective initially formed?
So Lou and I had known each other for a while before. We why was Freetown initially formed? Why is that an interesting question?
We were
Why?
confused in life, bro.
There you go.
At the time of coming to London for the first time, I had just finished my last year of law school and was going back to start practice. Then he was figuring out if he wanted to go back to university. And life didn't make a lot of sense at that point. And coming here, not just performing here, but meeting the Caribbean diaspora in London, people who were already established in their jobs and in their careers, but also talking about what they were missing and what they felt like they sacrificed by not being in the Caribbean and not being around their Caribbean families and friends. It made sense that music would do more than just appease our desire to create. It would also be a part of holding communities together and give us a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in life. So it was a gamble, a bet, to not choose career paths that would just bleed us out,
Yeah.
but to do something that could be fulfilling. That was the main reason why it was formed.
I'm gonna love this episode. Like, I'm literally gonna sit here in awe. Like, I am thoroughly gonna. So that was the reason why it was formed. What brought you all together? Because I said initially you said it was, I guess, the two of you. What
Yeah.
brought you all together?
So we we worked for about 3 years, right? Just performing literally everywhere in Trinidad and a few other gigs outside of Trinidad. And then Chronix had his first gig outside of Jamaica in Trinidad. And we were asked to perform alongside Chronix. And we decided to do a full band. So we had everything, guitar, but we needed supporting vocals.
What year was this, sorry?
2013.
Okay.
We needed supporting vocals. And that is where you could pick up the story from there.
Yeah, so I actually had just come back from studying in this side, and I went to hear the band. And the guy who was kind of coordinating, managing some of the stuff at the time, knew me from before, asked if I was still singing, and if I wanted to sing in a band. He didn't say Freetown. It turned out to be Freetown, and it was a kind of a trial. I remember saying, I'm not sure, let me talk to the guys, because I had known Mohammed from school. And, you know, friends, and then working with friends is
It's
two
different.
different things.
Yeah.
So it was a test out kind of thing. Funny enough, the other singer that he was putting into the mix never showed up to the rehearsals. Different life path. And I was asked, do I know someone else who can sing harmony? And I thought, I can ask my sister, Shana. So Shana came along. And then Mohammed and they had already worked, I think, before with Tashana. No?
I know how that went.
Oh.
She wanted to
so
see
I mean, so
Chronix.
the reason why I got into Freetown, really, I just bullied my way in. So the only so
Is that
what
fact?
happened is back in the day. Yeah, it's a fact. No weapon found against me then, or I won't ever prosper.
Yes.
So Chronix was coming down. I'd been a huge fan of Chronix since before he bust. So we talking about early days, young Chronix kind of vibe. So when he was coming, I think it was for Monster Energy Jam, and Freetown was going to open. And the ticket was just for me. I wasn't making that cost at that point, struggling artist at the time. So I think it was that evening, I was with Muhammad, and I just looked at him and said, "You're opening for Chronix?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I in the band, because I must meet Chronix."
We needed a third for the harmony.
third.
We needed a third. And the person who was supposed to come was the third was actually Patrice Million.
Okay.
She never showed up. And we had an next rehearsal coming up. And then that moment happened.
Yes.
And it was
Oh, you know
like,
she could sing?
I really didn't know she was singing
So
singing
that's
backup
what I'm
something
telling
at
you
the point in
what
time.
happened, the thingy. That happened.
I said to Shana, you didn't sing? I don't know. And then she
No,
come.
no, I was singing. You used to come and see me perform in Gazette and then.
Well-
You saw me with Gazette singing background so long you don't know I could sing.
Yeah,
That's true.
Hey, why she could you getting called out, man. You getting called out. You getting called
All
out.
that time.
Yeah, I knew
You
she was
getting called out.
Yeah, she and Zola.
And Mandisa.
Yeah.
Before that,
Tashan ain't finished. She ain't finished. She finished. She finished.
Yeah, so I said I'm coming. And his response was, "Well, I ain't too know because we done have people and thing already." And I was like, "All right, I'll see you when it's rehearsal." So I showed up at the rehearsal, and as God would have it, the third did not show. And
Here we are.
I just jumped in between the both of them and stood in front. There was only 2 mics at a time, and I just started harmonizing. And then I was like, "All right, I'll see everybody at the show."
So it was just by coincidence that the third person didn't show.
it was designing.
By
It
design.
was designer.
It was supposed to be me and the second person.
You're right.
Didn't
And then
show
the
a few
first one didn't
times.
show.
And then
I
this is where we
said-
are
and It
now.
was vague. It was no promises. I remember saying, I don't know if my sister wants to do this, cares to do this, will
Right.
stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was only really like the first part of it, right? Because then after the Chronic show happened, I got to see Chronic. So after the
never
Chronic show
forget.
happened, actually everybody just kind of went their separate ways.
For a while.
Back to before. Both Shana and Malini come from extremely musical families, so they had been singing their whole life. Their family is very well recognized in Trinidad in terms of music. I had been singing before as well. So fast forward a couple of months, Freetown doing their thing, and then they had another show at Martin's, a place called Martin's, which is now closed down, but it was a really cute little place that used to just allow for artists to come and perform. Right. So they had a show there that we saw advertising, and I think I called Malini, and I said, "Yo, you see this flyer?" And I think she was like, "Yeah," and I said, "Well, we singing." And I said, "So are you gonna call them? Are you gonna call them or me?" And I can't remember who made the call, but basically we were like, "Well, you're showing up. See you at Martin's." And we showed up, and we sang. That show was actually that show actually had to keep people out, if you all remember, because
Yeah.
so many people tried to get in. They had to start telling people they couldn't come in because it would be a fire hazard. And we just jumped on the stage and sang, and then after that we was like, see you at next rehearsal, and fast forward a couple of years, and yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Here we are.
So,
So guys, are you really victims? Is this
I,
what's going on?
I watching Lou and I watching Mohammed, right? And they just sit down there and they listen to this story. So who's so that's the enforcer in the crew then?
No.
Who's the enforcer? Who's the one
Enforcer.
that gets
Enforcer.
stuff done? That like
no
say
police here,
like
boy.
there are no police here? So
So
Ruckus, your positioning within the band.
I come after all of that back and
Yeah, all
but I know hearing all the story for the first time. You realize this is all that was going on.
Oh, so you didn't even know that?
No, I just find that out. I didn't realize that's Shoshana basically making it happen.
Wow.
No, the thing is, I don't think I make it happen. I think God made it happen. When you think of certain people not showing
Nice.
up and then afterwards, and I think enjoying the first performance enough to want, because I mean, as an artist, if you don't like who you work with the first time, I don't ever have to work with you again. So the fact that we actually came back together and said, yo, we're coming back in on the show says investment. And the fact that we're sitting here years later talking to you guys when they could have fired us along the way long time if they didn't like what we was doing, you know. Says
Fun
a lot
fact,
too.
Friday the 18th will be 10 years to the day that they are with us.
That is amazing.
Stage
So
performance.
the song I played first, right, Where I Am, is part of the master's plan.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
It's part of the master's plan for real.
Yeah, my story is similar to what would have happened when they wanted to expand the band a little bit. So I was brought in to do a show that never happened, called Borders Festival.
Oh my god.
And they had just dropped Born in Darkness album, and they wanted to be able to reproduce the sound of the album on a big stage. But they can't do it with a guitar and voices alone, so they find a cheaper way, which is not get a whole band but get a DJ instead.
Right.
So I was brought on board and we practiced and we rehearsed a beautiful show, and then the festival got cancelled, and we were like, well. It was supposed to be a one gig kind of situation and see what happened, but we have this show that we prepared and nothing can happen. So I said, well, let me do our own show. And we rented Big Black Box for 2 nights. And we did FTC, I think it was in
Yeah,
Black,
that was-
FTC Black.
No, that was the first
The
FTC.
first one was just FTC.
Oh yes,
And
and
then
Zion
FTC
as a
Black.
baby.
Diane was a baby.
Yes.
And we did the show, we presented the show, and people reacted positively. And Lou said, well, you will come back or?
Lou say you'll come back.
But that was after a couple songs from the album was done. The album wasn't done yet because we were able to do the album launch.
Right.
Right.
After
No,
that.
but the album was done because I had listened to the album first before
Yeah,
before we
yeah,
rehearsed
yeah,
anything.
Right, right.
They had brought me to the studio to listen to Born in Darkness album to get my opinion on it. I don't know how much of my opinion it take, but
Okay.
I gave my opinion on the album, and then after that, we had the border stuff. But then after that, we also did the album launch, where we presented the album in the way that we wanted to.
Right. So 10 years to almost a day is going to be on Friday. In that 10 years, y'all are real stories. We hear stories galore already. What would be all your most memorable performance that y'all can just share on? I would ask Shana if it is she could think of one moment,
So I think we should do it
you know?
individually because you might have different.
No, I just watched Shana. I think Shana's been quiet, you know? Shana's been quiet. For you, what would you say was one of your most memorable experience with Freetown?
St. Lucia Jazz. What year was your first year?
20, oh, do you have my passport? 2014? 2015. 15.
Okay. Yeah, for me. That performance, it was spiritual for me. So, after stage, we grouped together, we circled before and after. And after, I needed that circle to just come down from that high energy. But it was beautifully, spiritually, magically perfect for me.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
And it leads on to how you all approach things as a band or as a collective. Spirituality is a major part of how you all move and operate. You know, I see there's a flag that you all always have behind you all. What does that represent?
Oh, that's the flag that was adopted by the West Indian Federation, which was the predecessor to CARICOM. It was even the predecessor to the European Union as a political
Collective.
as a political concept. Eric Williams was central to regional political integration, and that is a metaphor for us. Not because of the political implications, because you had all of these political scholars trying to make this thing work, but it was Edna Manley, who was the wife of the Jamaican prime minister at the time, that hand sewed that flag and started meeting with Caribbean artists to push this idea of Caribbean unity. And that's why we have that flag, and that's why, even though that idea was disbanded after a while, it's still very special to the hearts of people. That's kind of central to the philosophy of Freetown too. We're stronger together as a region and as individual islands trying to do our thing.
Stronger together. Nice. I'm going to play a song that you performed at Just Vibes on Friday going in London. On Sunday going in London. Oshun. Sorry. You know me, everybody else pronounce it different. Oshun. I'll play the Soca remix that Battalion and Private Ryan did, and then we just have a little conversation about it, because I think it's incredibly powerful, especially as when you was on stage and you was talking about men and how it should empower women and seeing men in a different light. And so we'll just play it. Oshun, this is a shot of Soca, Freetown Collective. Oh my goodness, what a tune.
You are dearer to me than all the stars. So many wish but never reach. Cause when I'm falling and all the world seems dark, you help me find my peace. In the still of the night, I lay listening to you breathe. People search for heaven all their lives. How lucky am I? Heaven's breathing next to me. Oh, shoot me by, Johnny. Oh, shoot me by, oh, shoot me by, Johnny. I'll root it down.
Oh man, Oshun, absolutely amazing tune. Like, who wrote it?
I wrote it.
You wrote it.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, where was your mental connecting with your spiritual when you was writing that tune?
It was during the pandemic. So this was after we really realized we wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? Like this thing was setting in. All the gigs that we had gotten was cancelled. Everybody was kind of adjusting to what life was now. This is like just after mid-2020, around that time. And I started doing these things called midnight lives. So I would just wake up, I was up already. I'd just go on Instagram around midnight and just start playing music. And just chatting with people and things. And then people started coming in, and people was really going through some things. Right? People couldn't sleep, people going through things. And then I asked if they would want to share in the songwriting process, because I'd come up with these chords that I really liked, and was like, yeah. And so we started writing Oshun on the Midnight Lives, and they kind of owned it. They were like, yeah, my niece was born around the same time, and just looking at her and just the world and how the world is in turmoil at that point in time, and just thinking, this person coming into this world, a love song for this child, a lullaby for that child. And so with that whole spirit of it, I sat down around the savannah a few times, finished writing it. But the chorus, which is Oshun mi ba, which means Oshun, she comes and she makes the giving of birth or the coming of new things easy. I was singing, I didn't have a chorus, so just come up to the end of the verse. And then I was on the back step home and I sang, and then that kind of just came. It kind of felt right. And I remember when I played it for Ryan, I think I was in studio by Sheriff, and Ryan was like, there's a soca. And I was like, there's not soca, there's a lullaby. I was like, God, don't mess this up. And I thought to myself, if maybe I should have changed the chorus to be something people could like understand English or something else, right? And I was like, nah, leave it. And
Are you happy?
yeah, I am too.
Oh, yeah?
I am too.
Yeah.
Because the purpose of the song really evolved in showing that was what was supposed to happen. But that is something that I do from time to time, that little self-doubt. Yeah, and that song has come and it's done its own thing. Like, you know, I would have had intentions for the song, but the song, it basically took on a life of its own. And it's allowed us to do a lot of really good work in the community with survivors of domestic violence, etc. So, yeah.
That song, when I first heard it, it hit me. I literally probably played it, I can't even tell you how many times, because it just resonated so much, because it's only girls in my family. I have 7 nieces, right? I have 3 sisters, right? And most of the people around me are women, you know? And when I listened to this song, it just made me sit back and think as a man how much I am so grateful and thankful that I could harness, you know, the power of womanhood around me and respect it and honor it. And hopefully when it is I do have my own children, that they grow up recognizing the power, you know, behind womanhood, behind how it is we as men need to treat and empower, you know, the woman around us. So I want to say thank you, Freetown. Thank you very much for that. You know, I'm not telling you I share all your music, yeah? Like, when I tell you.
Yeah. But I want to say one thing, in terms of how a song is composed with us. So I might write a song, but there's so much beauty that comes out when we take the song in hand. Because it's never end up where I started, ever.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, all right, Lou, hear this. And then we will do an arrangement. And then when we bring it to them, like when it gets to the chorus of the song, and I mean, even like on Feel the Love, when you hear the oohs, right? I come up with the ooh on my own, but you know,
it just brings it to life.
Yeah, so I want to say that for sure. Like, there's always something else that happens when we all get the song in our hands and our heads. You know what I mean?
You know, it just feels so organic. You know, it just feels like just natural, and it just flows. You know, and I really like connect with that, because that means that the energy around it is always positive, you know.
And then one more thing as well, the Orisha community in Trinidad is very strong, and a lot of my spiritual awakening was from being around Orisha people and connecting with those energies and understanding those energies, and that opened me up a lot. So the energy of Oshun is also an energy that's very dear to me, you know. Yeah,
energy boy. Annie, we talk about energy all the time.
Listen, we do. We have lots of conversations about spirituality, energy, positivity. So yeah.
I literally just sit down here and I tell you, I floating on it. I floating because the energy is nice. The energy is nice.
So you speak about spirituality a lot. How important is it to you, I guess, individually and as a group as well? Don't know who wants to.
I like, for me, I would lead off, seeing as, you know, Freetown was kind of built somewhere in my head initially, right? The idea for Freetown and why we'd even doing what we're doing was that there was this community that my ancestors formed that was in the middle of a world that hated them, like was trying to actively destroy them. You know, at that time it wasn't even racism, it's just, I don't even know what to call that, because you're in the middle of enslavement, right? And they were still able in that moment to hold themselves in a certain level of regard and create a community that was beautiful for them and for their children and all of that. And that's where it started for me. So it emanates from that energy. And that energy doesn't exist without some level of trying to connect to something higher than yourself.
Yep.
It is not possible to continue that energy. You can't exist in a world that's trying to destroy you actively without connecting something higher than yourself. And so that's where it begins. And anybody who would connect to this, who would be so close to the core of this, would have to also be seeking God in their own way. You know what I mean? So
What I like about the band is we are all of different followings. But it's the same honoring on that stage and outside of the stage is the same love for this energy that made us.
Yeah. And in your music, it sounds silly to say, but you can feel it in all of the songs. Well, so I can feel it. I don't know, but I feel it. Like when I hear songs, I don't know. Like it just touches me. So many of your songs genuinely make me emotional, just because of the energy amongst you guys, and it's poured into the song. I said you feel it. I'm sure you feel the same.
That's what it is for me. Regardless of where the conviction comes from, once you have conviction, like you can't be going through life and just dwelling on the surface. I grew up in a very religious and spiritual household, but there's something that two things my mother always used to tell me, and she still tells me, just to make sure that I remain grounded. She tells me whatever you are capable of doing and you choose to do it, that is your worship. So if you could steal and you like to steal, that is your form of worship.
We're not encouraging that.
No.
But yeah.
But when you get the results of that kind of worship, don't be surprised.
Yeah.
Right.
So if music is what you're inclined to do, and you spend time learning an instrument, writing songs, vocally exercising, that is your worship. So you can't worship half-heartedly. You can't worship, without putting your whole soul into it. So when we decide to rehearse, when we decide to record, when we decide to produce, when we decide to mix, it's all worship. And she also tells me that prayer is not kneeling down and clasping your hands. Prayer is your loudest daily intention. So whatever you think about for the most of your day, that is your strongest prayer, and that is what God and the universe is going to reward. So it's all spirituality, and art is our prayer.
yeah, this morning I heard Erica Badu say something in an interview. She said, God doesn't give you what you ask for, he gives you what you are. And that ties into what he said about prayer, like it gives you what you are. Yeah.
Wow. We love that. We love it. I'm going to play a song because we like to make sure and have music flowing through all the time in the show. Mighty People. And it touches on everything that we just spoke about, and we as a people, as the human race, I feel like there's a lot of disconnect, since COVID, since the pandemic, since everybody was in a little box by themselves, a lot of people still didn't figure out who they are, what it is they really want, and, where they want to go next, And when I heard Mighty People, I was like, yeah, that song should be echoed everywhere to let you, and it should just take it as personal to yourself,
What you get from it personally?
Well, for Mighty People?
Yeah.
Mighty People, for me, it means that we all have a power within ourselves. And if it is collectively, we can channel that the right way. We all have a part to play to continue moving forward in the right direction, in a positive direction. That is what it is I get from it.
All right, cool.
Is that all right?
It's art, dog. I just want to know what you get from it.
And because that's my philosophy, honestly. How I carry myself and how it is I try to be every day is positivity is a real hard thing to generate every day. We all know that, and we all have our lows. And if it is you recognize where your low is and you know yourself enough that, I'm not feeling 100% today, so I will put myself in a position where it is I can build myself up and then push forward. And if it is I know I can't be around people, being honest with yourself is the most powerful thing that you have. You know, being honest with yourself, knowing that you can't do something. Don't pretend. If it is you pretend, that means you're only lying to yourself and you're damaging yourself more than anything else. And once it is you damage yourself, you're literally going to not give everybody else 100% of yourself.
Okay.
So
He's a smart man.
it's not smart enough. Which means years I
Don't tell him
learned.
that. Why not to tell him that?
See a woman?
Who gave him that?
He's a smart man.
Tell him it's
No, it's
No,
years.
he's a smart
It took me
man.
a long time. Took me a long time and having to go through a lot of what it is I went through personally to be where I am today. And being on this podcast, A Shot of Soca, you know, thank you to Myra Studios, thank you to Carib Culture for having me be here. It's only enriched my purpose, you know, for myself and also for bringing us as mighty people together to push forward.
And he pressed
And
play on
press
that
play
one.
on that one, right in. You understand? Straight.
Love that too.
Feel it down in your soul till you can't control it. Put your hand up to the sky, mama don't ask why. In these dark and lonely times, we go turn the tide. If you're looking for a sign, turn and look inside of you. Your body is a temple, your sweat is holy water. Every move you're making is praise unto the master. Yes. Because you're powerful, inside, outside, wonderful, magical, beauty, can't hide. Me and you never lose, trust me, can't lie. Hopeful, till the day we die. Whoa, powerful, all my beautiful people, full of wonder, wonderful. Whoa, powerful, all my beautiful people, full of wonder, wonderful. Up you mighty people, up you mighty people, up you mighty, up you mighty, up you mighty people, up you mighty people, up you mighty people, up you mighty, up you mighty, up you mighty people, up you mighty people, up you mighty people, up you mighty, up you mighty, up you mighty people, up you mighty people, up you mighty people, up you mighty, up you mighty, up you mighty people. Everyone know that we coming through, coming from this out of the archipelago. We have soul and colorful for soul, but then mashing up we go to living, we don't live so. Call your name again. What's my name again?
Tell him your claim again. Tell him your claim again.
Because you're powerful, inside, outside, wonderful, magical, beauty, can't hide. Me and you never lose, trust me, can't lie. Hopeful, till the day we die. Whoa, powerful, all my beautiful people, full of wonder, wonderful. Whoa, powerful,
Sorry.
Catch yourself, Tom, man.
I catch myself there, yes? I catch myself. I catch myself there.
While you're catching yourself, I'm gonna ask another question. So I think you touched on it when you spoke about Saint Lucia being one of the most memorable performances that you said you've done. Sorry, and you said that before that you kind of gathered together in a circle, and after that. So typically, how do you prepare for a performance as a group? Do you gather collectively? Like, what do you have a certain ritual? Like, what do you do to get yourself ready to perform?
I don't think the preparation for each performance is the same, but before most, we would gather and say a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And then we circle around, we hold hands. And anybody, Lou designates who prays actually. He would pray or he would say somebody, he would call a name, I guess whoever he feels in the moment.
Let's give the little pep talk first.
Okay, he's give a pep talk.
I would definitely see that happen.
Understood, yeah.
Yeah, definitely
A
see
Lou
that
pep
happen.
talk.
Lies.
Yeah. But I would say everybody gathers themselves differently. Somebody might have music in the air. Somebody might be sitting down quietly in a corner. We don't all have to do something before performance. Right. But I think everybody will get prepared mentally in their own way, in their own space. Don't have to be around each other. You might be in the room, out the room, you know. And then we try to just huddle back. Like you try to do it before pictures, interviews, or any outside energies. You try.
Yeah.
And we circle again and say a prayer and give thanks. So that's the ritual, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. We just do anything like that? No. When we come in studio, we just do anything like that? I think we should start doing that now. You know?
I'll give the pep talk.
All right then.
You gotta pray.
Yeah, you can pray.
There is no problem. I have no problem praying. I'll pray for you daily.
Wow.
Daily.
Yikes.
No,
Wow.
I actually do pray for you daily anyway, but you make it.
No, but it's just how you say
the way
it.
you
now.
say it.
I say
No,
it.
what you say is
Oh,
how you
okay,
say
all
it.
right. So the dynamic is a bit
It's a bit dynamic.
it's a bit dynamic, you know.
No,
we
it's
have
fine.
it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Don't start that. Don't start that. Don't start that. So you all are here in London. You all have a show on Friday.
Yes, indeed.
Right. We had a little, prequel on Sunday with Just Vibes. Shout out to Just Vibes family as well, and Greenwich Peninsula for having you all, share a little bit. How was that for you all? Sharing a little snippet of what's to come for Friday. How was that?
Honestly?
Yeah. Be honest. Yeah.
No. Like, and this
but give us the light version, please.
be quiet. And this even,
That's it. That's why his name is that.
yeah.
Oh.
Me
You
have
have no idea.
You have no idea.
You have no
I will ask. I will
idea.
ask in a minute.
You have another name, but we
Yeah,
can't
oh,
say
it-
that on air.
Wait, wait.
Why so shocked?
All right,
Mohammed, you were going to be honest.
Be
Yeah,
honest.
but it ties into because sometimes when I say certain things, man, I shouldn't say that. Certain things shouldn't be said.
No.
And it kind of ties into me for me to mighty people, right?
Pulling the breath.
We have ended up in a space where, all right, I never in my life before thought we had a space in Carnival, right?
Right.
Like many people coming from where I come from. I was like, yeah, it's not for me, and I don't think I'll ever make music that will end up in there because of the kind of music I want to make. We did Where I Am, which was the first soca we did, and then we did Feely Love. And Feely Love did what it did.
Yeah.
Feely Love threw us into the ring. So now, Freetown Collective, a band that is not a soca band, is performing in fets. I have no experience at this. So you could ask any of them, my learning curve was real shit. Right? And it's still very steep.
Yeah.
Because for me, as the person that is in front there, trying to find the balance between talking to people who are probably slightly inebriated, everybody else who is coming out there is telling them to jump and whine and wave and whatever. No one is given any depth of message like we might be trying to give. How do I not lose myself? How do we not lose ourselves and still represent in that space, which is one of the most vibrant and widespread spaces that we have as a diaspora to speak to each other, right? Feely Love has helped. Mass has now also helped. Oshun has helped. However, Sunday, first of all, Sunday went a lot longer to me than I thought it would have, right?
Yeah.
So people had a good 4-hour chunk or more of just...
Yeah.
And then Juicy and them ended it on, right?
Yeah.
Which is not something that I've become disaccustomed. Like I'm becoming accustomed now to
Yeah.
this, right?
Yeah.
And Mark was like, "You all do your set,
Yeah.
do your set." But obviously, we're not blind to what energies we're meeting.
Yeah.
So you get on the stage, and we did Cassandra first, and then, like I say, this is a learning curve for me. So I, within myself, felt as though I could have taken a bit more time to introduce Oshun and try and change the energy a little bit. But it's also very difficult when you're in front of a crowd of people.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, this is the energy that we meet in these spaces who are not accustomed to being spoken to or sung to in a certain type of way. So you bring in another energy into the space. And that is not easy. But it is the work that we are doing, right? Over the time, people have kind of started to come to expect it, But I believe over time they will expect it even more, where it will be a very welcome thing.
Yeah.
But now it is a bit of a strange thing
Yeah.
for people. You know what I mean? And at least for me, when it got to that point, it felt as though there was a bit of a shock. Like,
Yeah.
not a resistance to it, but like, oh wait, we have to switch up the energy. You know? And that's something that I have had to deal with a lot. Singing the kind of music we sing and finding ourselves in those arenas.
Yeah.
Sometimes in myself I have run from it, but I realize now, obviously, I can't run from it. This is where we at.
Yeah.
Right? If you really ask anybody about me, nobody will ever. If you like look for Bacchanal on the list of things that somebody might list me as, it's not there in a way. Well, not in a kind of way.
Not that.
But a certain kind of Bacchanal, like carnival Bacchanal.
Okay, right.
No, not
carnival Bacchanal.
It's fine.
It's fine.
What's true? They're putting it out there, man.
They can put me anywhere.
They're putting it out there, man.
As long as they know what I mean and they know what I mean. It's fine. It's okay, baby.
It's okay. It's fine.
But this is something I like to express, because I really do believe that we're going through a revolution.
Yeah.
All kicks aside, what is happening here? We laugh at each other, them is pong me, whatever. But us going on stage and trying to deliver and delivering these songs powerfully is a revolution in the Caribbean, especially within the soca fraternity. What we are doing is a little bit of insanity.
Yeah.
And at times we do need guidance, because I might feel something might fit or it might work, but there has to be some level of compromise. There has to be, like, Rokas has been very instrumental in pointing me in the direction of performance and how I should appear on stage, because before this, for me, all these songs, I write them. So I could talk about them, and our audience in particular, I could talk to them. But going in front of these audiences, argument and building these set a certain kind of way and being in that. And there was a big resistance in me initially to that, because it didn't feel very genuine, you know? And again, I am now starting to find that space here.
Yeah.
So Sunday was a mixture. Sunday was like really, really good in certain points. And then for me, in certain points, I felt a bit unsure of myself.
Right.
I felt a bit like I wasn't connecting in a certain type of way. You know what I mean? But those are things that I'm speaking about them because I don't hear a lot of lead singers talk about these things.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to appear supremely confident in themselves all the time, and like they're always connecting with the audience, and but these are things that we go through as artists, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's how you learn and you grow. You get better at your craft, and you know you can step into any environment and tap into a place where it is. Boy, I feel I've been here before. How do I overcome this, and then you push through that way? You know, I like that.
But just to add, sorry, go ahead.
For me, Sunday was lit. And it was for very specific reasons for me. One, coming from Trinidad to London, which has an appreciation of a much wider array of musical genres than what we access openly. And I say openly because if you were to tap into a lot of people's phones home, you'll find a lot of playlists that they wouldn't even let anybody don't listen to, because that is not what we do home. Coming across here now and realizing how much more people are open to music is one thing. So that made it lit. The fact that when we started, people immediately started jumping. So I had a totally different experience. For me, once the music started, even when we started with Kitchener. London is the place for me, which I think was suggested by Rokas and Lou. By Rokas, yeah. And the way it was treated, which is something I actually raised before in rehearsal, because I was coming like, the way it was treated even musically by Rokas allowed us to bring something like a Kitchener that people know, because we are also in a place where second and third generation children of immigrants still know this, right? So when it starts, it's familiar. And then I think as Freetown, we've been very, very blessed to have somebody like Lou and somebody like Rokas who really pays attention to the beats and the production of the music. So we could talk about the lyrics and these things, but the thing is this, as a people during Notting Hill, during Carnival, and you know this from being even on the road in Trinidad, sometimes we hear the beat before we remember the lyrics. The lyrics is for the lead up to the jam when we
yeah.
rehearse and we da-da-da, when you're on your way to the party, da-da-da-da-da, lyrics.
Yeah.
But when you're reaching the thing now, is really that beat holding you past the alcohol, past the everything. And I think that Lou has been very good. Ryan, Static, a lot of the different people that we have chosen to work with, because it's always about choice, have really worked in terms of being very mindful of infusing that kind of litness.
The litness.
So the thing. So for me on Sunday, when I come out on stage and the beat drop, right? On London is the place for me, and I see people then start to bounce. You're seeing people of the older generation singing it, and you see people of the younger generation just bopping to the beat. Then you go into something else, and then as it keeps going down the line now, you start seeing people, then you go into something that has a little drill in it, a little drill thing in it. You go into something that have a little rock steady in it, because again, so much has gone into the production and the back end of it. To me, everybody was pumping. So by the time I see, I'm not sure if it was you, because I don't know if it was you, but I saw somebody run with a flag. That
me.
was
It was
you?
probably him.
Right.
It's 100% me.
So from the time you're not even halfway through your set yet, and this is why I use lit. By the time you're not halfway through your set yet, and you seeing
Your energy.
the energy of the crowd pumping, basically bouncing with the beat of it, so everybody in time. Greatness. And then you see a man running with big flag from one side when our song start. Man runs straight in front of them, always knock me over the flag to go to the next
Like
side.
that did not happen. That part did not.
It was just 100%.
That did not happen.
Yeah.
That part, Tashana, that part did not happen.
And I'm sticking to it. When you see man run now with the flag, and then you're seeing people start to drop their flags and things like that. Slow song, fast song, anything. You start to feel like, yo, so by halfway through, everybody with you. And it's this party, and then afterwards you're here, and like after the show even, people passing me say, see you Friday. And they're like,
100%.
like, yeah, we see you on Friday. See you Friday. And even again yesterday we went out yesterday again, and just handed one person a flyer. And we're sitting down, and somebody from the kitchen staff comes out like with a flyer in his hand, like, hey, can I have another flyer? Like, yeah, you have one, but yeah, this looks really lit. I want to share it. So the fact that you could kind of understand that not just the production, but the aesthetic, the style, the work of other people back home, such as people like Ariel, like Kimmy, like all these people back home that have made sure that the sound, the beats, the aesthetic is lit. Then when we step out on stage, it's just lit.
It just
So when you
captivates
see man
everybody.
run with big flags to almost knock you down now. And
Way boy.
in
That's
the
she story, and
video,
she's sticking
you will
to it,
see
boy.
a big flag. I mean, come on. So
And-
what do you expect
And
to
to
happen on
clarify,
Friday?
I didn't. If I sounded like I said, the whole thing was just. That's not.
No, we know that. We know that is you. That was on you. You know that was.
And this is why.
It's fine.
It's fine.
And this is why.
No, it's fine.
Hold on, wait. But this is also why you have our band, because there'll be days when somebody not in a good space, but others will be, you know what I mean, or somebody might be feeling this or that. But when we get there, we all carry in that energy, you know what I mean. So
How many people would you say you all had?
Boy, throughout the day, we had thousands of people pass through the event. You know, and some kids stayed up until
the end.
the event and was in front jamming.
We saw that.
You know, there was you know.
So could you imagine what would if that happened in an outdoor space with Freetown on stage? Could you even imagine what would happen?
Oh,
in a space like
I already
Big
know.
Wells? You can't bring your flag though, because the flag.
I
might be
bring in
too
the
big,
flag
but please
same
bring
way.
A smaller flag.
A chance space.
I bring in the flag. I mean, look, this small one right here.
All right.
All flag crews
The small one right here, but the big flag creates a presence that everybody know they can put their hands up, they can get involved, you know. And shout out to Just Vibes again, you know, the whole team. We love what we do at Just Vibes because we put on a lot of free events, you know, and a lot of events where it is we have everybody can come and enjoy themselves, young, older, you know, no matter what musical background you have, you will find a space within Just Vibes. And like I was saying to Mohammed, because we're all Trinidadian, the main crew for Just Vibes, we're all Trinidadian. When we bring them in and we play in a little bit of club classics and we play in, you know, alternative music, and then we hit them with soca, they don't go nowhere. They just stay right there. They just jam to the beat. They just enjoy it. And for us, when we do events, it just has such a fantastic atmosphere that we don't have any kind of like bad vibes or negativity. And if there is anything, we quick time.
Outside.
Quick time is outside. We don't even like. There's no back and forth. If it is you want to bring a negativity, roll out one time.
Just vibes is a Freetown then.
Huh?
Because the way you just described it kind of sounds like a Freetown. It's just we create this space and everybody could just come.
Yeah,
with the energy
it's
and the
a everybody thing. Just vibes is a everybody thing. You know, and we create that all the time. Anywhere we go, we're gonna do horse racing Thursday. We take in music and we go horse racing and we play music, and people doesn't want to leave. You understand me? Because we just that's what it is we do. You understand? But before I come straight to Rockers because you like foolishness. Rockers.
I just pictured a man look back.
Relax
No, man.
You know what you're doing.
Relax.
Big up the road.
Lero, big up yourself.
Say Lero too much. There's somebody here that just say Lero too quick because some people.
Go ahead,
here-
another question.
Yeah, that question for Rockers, you know.
Distracted.
So as the DJ within the setting, right? As Tashana said, you know, all you and Lou, there's bring the beats and everything and connected. Do you find it difficult to make sure the timing is right when it is you're bringing the soca next to everything else that's there?
No, dog. I ask Kaisorize everything.
Yeah.
You give me a chance and I would put a Kaiso or Soca beat on every. He could try and sing what he love song he want. You know, see, you're laughing, right? But one of the first things that happened when I came into the band was I was standing in the middle of the set. Space for Heart was too slow. Like we needed to have a beat for Space for Heart. And when we had the beat that the song was recorded with, it was nice. But I think we were using it for Unconquered at the time. So we needed a different beat. And I started to play a beat live with some drum patterns and turn it into a kind of Kaiso. We call it world beats, but you know, it's the same love way, the same Kaiso swing that we love. And I just put that on it, and we did that for quite some time. We did Space for Heart that way with
two versions.
with this kind of Kaiso love way beat behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rockers is also not telling you that he also throws a big event at home called Throwback and Wine. And Rockers also spends a lot of time doing, Rockers has been doing vintage Kaiso, vintage Calypso and Soca shows for a while, and is one of the people that still does a lot of connection when it comes to Calypsonians and Soca artists. So he has been Kaisorized. When he say Kaisorizing forever, he flying that feed, not just doing it personally, he's been flying that flag and creating spaces for people to come in and throw back and wine and bubble and all these things. For a long time now, he just sitting on the quiet.
Rockers.
Things in the
Rockers, sorry, yeah? Hold on. Rockers. Who are you? Let everybody know in London who you are, and then when it is people coming out to Trinidad, let them find it. Let me find these places now, man, because people still love Kaiso, you know. People still love Calypso, you know. People still love the real roots and culture of Trinidad and Tobago and soca music. So please look into that camera right there.
Do they though?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you call the roots and the culture of Trinidad and Tobago and of Kaiso and Soca? Because the reality is,
He questioned me when I asked him
I'm
the
not
question.
questioning you, you know. I'm not questioning you, you know. I'm questioning what you really want. Because, I mean, we say that people want this and they want that.
Yeah.
Then if it were actually true, then the mainstream stuff would have a nice balance, right? It wouldn't just be all party music. So, for example, you know, you have people like Elon Francis and Karina Shea and all these people who do in Tazaya O'Connor who just won the Calypso Monarch.
Yeah.
You playing a song in party?
I
You
wouldn't
even know this song?
I wouldn't play it in a party.
You know the song?
Yes, but I would play it. I would play it.
What's
I
the
would
song
play
you
it.
say?
I didn't
But
follow this. I didn't follow this. I've been
but-
honest.
no,
I've been
but
honest.
But that's my point, right?
Yeah, I hear you.
We love the
Because
culture.
I'm a Terry Lyons fan. That is what.
Right.
I'm a Terry Lyons fan. So
Terry has been the one of the few people
Yeah.
who's able to capture both audiences and
Yeah.
to make Calypso relevant. So what she's doing is a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But she's the exception.
Yeah.
She's not the masses. It's still plenty of people in Trinidad doing Calypso. And it's still on the ground right there. Or you just come down, go to Cafe Blue. There are people performing every night. doing calypso jazz, doing versions of calypso, versions of soca.
Right.
I mean, the challenge is that the diaspora, the people who come to Trinidad for carnival. They come for one part of carnival,
yeah.
which is the party, which is the fete, which is all well and good. That's fine. But there are so much more layers to the culture that we just kind of leaving by the wayside. Yeah, we love Sparrow and Kitchener, but when last Sparrow released a song, let me be real. There are people who doing it on the ground now, and they're not even getting the love on the ground, far less for getting it anywhere else. So it's difficult for me to just accept that everybody, you love the culture and you come for the culture. You ain't really come for the culture.
You come for
you come for something.
Yeah,
and you come to feel the energy that the culture provides.
Yeah.
But you didn't really come for the culture.
Yeah.
Because, we need the rum, we need the party, we need the girls.
Honestly, I've been real honest with you. There's a lot of people that I speak to that when they go home, they say, oh, when it is we could go and listen to, we don't want to go in the big fete and we don't want to be in that. I do even go into the big fete.
So you go tents then?
I don't go tents. I don't get there in time for that, right? When I get there, I literally, when it is have like they try to bring back brass and stuff like that. I go to them kind of things, That's what it is I would do. I would just literally just go and chill out, and that's for me.
Yeah.
I find those little corners, and that is it for me. It's not about going to this fete, that fete, the other fete.
But you see that, but you're in the minority because a lot of people who
no,
come
I know I'm in the minority. I know I'm in the minority, but within the minority, especially when I pointed out on my radio show and thing, I just tell people there's so much more. So when it is you go home, I just tell people don't go home for that week building up just for carnival. If it is you could eke out a little 2 or 3 days before that, where it is you can go and experience something different about the culture and what it truly means for a lot of people. It would be much more beneficial to you. And when you come back,
if you go the week leading up to Carnival, you can have that experience as well because the tents are still open. You have things like the Tree Canal show. You have so many other little things that happen around that same week. Same week.
Welcome to Freetown.
Welcome to Freetown.
And this is the thing, right? Because Freetown also kind of provides a bridge, in a sense. We're one of the few bands, and I think I could say this unapologetically, that we're one of the few bands that, regardless of the space, there is tribe there for us. We've done big shows. We've done small, intimate shows like our Tight Spaces tour, which is acoustic. We've been on huge amplified stages. We're about to open for UB40 in about a week and something. We have
this is in Birmingham, right?
Yeah. So Freetown has kind of been able, because of those same things, Rocker skill set, Lou skill set, Mud skill set, Malini and Shana sitting down here very quiet. Shana is a calypso person on the inside and the soca queen across day. You understand? And it's because of those skill sets, because of those understandings, because of those chips on our shoulders in terms of how certain things are dealt with, that we've been able to kind of infuse all of that into the music and into Freetown and create that calypsonic kind of bridge that allows anybody to access it. So even if calypso is not really my thing,
it is
like
going
Freetown,
they just they just don't realize what it is.
That's literally the label that we give our music. It was coined by Jimmy October, one of our peers. It's New Calypso.
Yeah.
So
I really like Jimmy as well.
And just really quickly to speak about the performance on Sunday and Muhammad being so transparent about the challenges that he has, which now is also the challenge of the band, adjusting in real time to the energy that you're getting in comparison to the intimate, very attentive audience that we know.
Yeah.
All of your top soca performances in Trinidad, they have calypso roots. There's a reason why that allows them to be the top performers.
Every one of the top ones.
Soca artists generally try to out-hype each other. And I would advise you to take Rockus's challenge. It is truly a thing of beauty to watch a calypsonian in full flight. They don't care about the previous artists. They come and they take their time and they own that stage. By the time they get to first chorus, second verse, they have it and you don't even know how you get there. And it's an art, and that's what our challenge is. As new calypsonians, how do we hone our craft to the point where we could come after the most hype artists and tell you, hey, this segment is something you need. And all you have to do It's relaxed. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
We have it from here.
It's fine. All right. So we're just gonna have 2 more songs, and obviously we in 2023, right? You wrote you had a song together with Michael Teja, and
Another Calypsonian.
another California, yeah. Mass. Oh, watch me. When you all dropped down Sunday, all they saw the response straight away. You know? And when I was in Trinidad and that song dropped, I saw the response. And for me, it just embodied everything. You know, embodied everything. I really like rockers, you know, because let me say it, because how you was talking so passionately about the culture and us literally trying to get a lot more educated about the younger generation coming forward who are really trying to make a way, pushing the culture forward. I 100% for that. You understand? I always try to find people who not on mainstream. Send me your music. I will play your music. Send me your music. I will play your music wherever it is I am. I will play it. You understand me? Because once it's being played, that means somebody is. On Monday we was on set, and we had artist by the name of Calypso Dunn, and he wrote a song called "Cry for the Youths," and he's from Trinidad as well, you know, and he plays it straight here. He was a 4-time Calypso monarch here. You understand? And that song "Cry for the Youths," when you hear that tune, it literally just makes you resonate. You know,
taking note of it.
Yeah. His name is Calypso. I want to tell you, it just tells you a story about where young people are right now and how difficult it is for them to move forward with the world that we're living in. You know, and if it is and we all have a responsibility here on the platform to encourage everybody to just listen. Don't spend 10 seconds listening. Don't spend 20 seconds. Just listen, because it's going to enrich you in ways that you wouldn't even realize. You know, it just brings a different power, different dynamic, and we all need that in our lives now. Because too many of us try to live our life at 30 seconds or 20 seconds at a time, and we miss out on everything else. You know? So when I hear rockers talk like that, it just makes me know. Let me know that I'm not alone here now. I'm not alone in feeling as if we need to just push it and just continue pushing it. People will listen, people won't listen, but once it is we pushing it, that's the step that we can take. I want to play Mass for everybody.
Sure.
And I like the 2 MV version, the intro version, because it just lets you just
Big up.
Big up Adam.
Big up DJ Adam.
coming on the road just now.
Yeah.
He should be here already.
Oh, is that?
Adam should be here already.
I'm trying to signal to you off camera quietly, but he ain't getting your attention.
Not Adam, that's Jamil. Jeremiah.
Yeah?
If you're talking this, it's really my.
You can just talk to me. Oh. So we're going to play Mass. Michael Teja, Freetown Collective, 2023. Sweet tune.
I hear a distant melody blow through the hills of Lavanti. Music powerful and sweet, and when the rhythm start to beat, look how it take away we pain. I can't explain it in my veins. Find myself down in Port of Spain. I'm not the same, so got to blame every creed and race. Everybody tongue in the heart of Port of Spain. Mass, come again. We look how the place on fire now. Mass, come again. A spirit to bring the power down. Mass, come again. Give them the drum is stand down. Mass, come again. And everybody chanting now. Look at the people coming down.
Get him.
melody. Music, mass, and love, my trinity. In a world so cool, always so free. Well, come, let me tell you honestly. Look how we take away the pain. I can't explain. It's in my veins. Find yourself down in Porter Spain. I'm not the same. So got to blame. Every good and rain. Everybody down in the hands of Porter Spain. But come again. Well, look how the place on fire now. But come again. A spirit to bring the power down. But come again. Give them the drum is stand alone. But come again. And everybody chanting now. Look at the people coming down. Together, now we strong. Look at the people coming down.
Aye.
Yeah, man.
You like that one?
Like is an understatement. You know, I like to see how oh gosh, I'm in trouble now. I'm in trouble. I'm in real trouble.
You don't even know how much trouble. You
Man.
know how much trouble you're
Yeah.
jumping out your whole
Yeah,
prize right now.
I'm gonna get legs in now. I'm gonna get legs in.
Start with the M.
Yes,
yeah.
that
Yeah,
works.
Mel works, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a smart man.
Mel works. You know, and then you start to ask all the brown paper back there, like in trouble. Do you know you start smiling as it come on there? Why?
Because it's part of the music is a part of us. The rhythm, there's no way, in my opinion, to me, there's no way you can hear music like this as a part of the diaspora, as a Trinbagonian, and not start to feel some type of way. We're not going to feel the same way, but you're going to feel something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to feel something.
From the time you hear...
Yeah, and I'm saying there are certain things that is make it very make it connect with people, right? So like we were in New York last year before, whenever that New York run was, right?
That's it.
And we do this, we have a sort of Light Man is the name of the song, right? And we do Light Man, but in Light Man we do a Kaiso bass line at some point in the song. And every time we change the way that we play it, we play a Kaiso bass line, all of a sudden everybody just start whining out of nowhere.
Your body know what to do.
And the same exact thing happens whenever we start mass with them drum patterns. Right. Just go tack tack boom boom tack boom boom tack tack boom.
That's we.
And people just go, oh God, what's happening? I can't control my waist. It's just
And I wait for that bass line.
And the thing is that drum hand, right, that calypso hand is an indigenous Trinidadian hand. And I have been around drummers for my whole life. And I have seen master drummers come from all over Africa to play with the master drummers from Trinidad and have real problems playing that calypso hand. Because it's us.
Yeah.
It's a stutter and the hand changes as it goes. Every phrase in the hand is not the same. It changes every second. It doesn't stay the same hand. And Marshall is called the back of the horse. You know, you're not riding on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
behind.
Yeah.
Wow. I love it. I absolutely love that tune. Mas, Michael Teja, you know, he's moving forward. He's doing his thing. And
I want to big up Tano, who's the co-producer on that song. Yeah, Tano had a wonderful year this year, and I think he is also an example of youth who are interested in diving to the root of the thing and how to make it current and how to make it contemporary and proving that it will work.
And Kyle Peters as well.
Yeah, Kyle.
Peters.
Kyle is Kaiso.
Yeah. So Kyle was one of the people while we were producing the song when we was around. Kyle was just there saying, well, yeah, they start tweaking things, you know, and well, obviously the guitars on the track and all that is Kyle.
Kyle and I used to do a show together back in the day called Vintage Unplugged. We sat with Calypsonians, like legit Calypsonians. I was fortunate enough to sit down with people like the Mighty Shadow and Brother Resistance before they passed away. And we literally sat with them and had conversations and jammed their music. Kyle is a guitarist. Extraordinarily, amazingly talented guitarist. Kyle can literally hear a song and jam the whole song. He just had a verse and chorus and he going down the road there. And he did that with a bunch of these iconic, legendary Calypsonians. We did that. We just had the show where we literally jamming for an hour at a time. So Kyle is definitely part of He's an integral part of the culture in so many ways.
Yeah.
And he's do that, what he did there for that one song, he does that on so many songs for Carnival. He would go in and play guitars, he would go in and give advice. He's like, you know that guy who passed away recently, Clarence.
Black Godfather.
Yeah, the Black Godfather. Clarence
in the
Avon.
US, yeah.
Kyle is like reminiscent of that to me. Like he will just be in the background, but having such a huge impact on so many parts of the culture.
Seamlessly.
Seamlessly.
Yeah. So big up, Kyle.
Every time.
Big up, Kyle. You know, we almost there. And we want to say thank you all for being here, you know, and taking the time out. I know you all have a busy schedule.
It's fine.
It's fine, eh? It's fine. It's fine. Feel the love.
Yes.
Annie,
Can you feel the love?
can you feel the love?
Can you? Yeah.
All right.
So I feel like for Feel the Love, especially here in the UK, I think that was a song that really introduced a lot of people to Freetown if they didn't know you before. What does that song mean to you, and the journey that song has kind of taken? Was it something that you kind of expected, you foresaw? Like, does that kind of solidified you? That's not English. Solidified you kind of like in Soca, because you said the thing for me, that song I think is what kind of brings you to fets now. So yeah, I think there was a lot of questions in one there. Sorry.
Yeah. For a lot of people, a little bit, the first time that they ever heard
Yeah.
of Freetown Collective.
Yeah.
Some people still not really sure what, but they know the song.
Yes,
you
they
know?
definitely know the song.
Yeah, in everybody's life, I guess there's moments that come and change everything, and that's one of those moments. It's like you're edging up on something, you're edging up. Okay, I think I want to be a part of this. I think, and then somebody just come and drop you in the middle of the thing.
Yeah.
And it's changed everything. I would actually kind of like to hear from everybody else, like that same thing. Like
That song was terrifying. Because Rokas and I knew that this song was going to do damage, and we felt like Muhammad was not ready. We had a massive school tour the year before that carnival.
The same year.
the same year.
The same year, and we
Same
said, Muhammad, you had to perform this song. You get inside there because this song going and run away. It's going to be bigger than we could imagine. I don't think he had believed at that point in time because it was still early days. But again, once you invest in the sound of the culture enough, it's less a skill and more instinct. It's feel something inside that this could be problems. I don't know, but it could be problems.
Yeah.
And we just had an instinct that this could pick up. And I don't think, I for sure didn't feel as though as a band and as a unit, we were ready for that song. Blessings for the pandemic.
Right?
Because that came and just mashed a nice breaks and allowed us to really see how emotionally attached people were to
Yeah.
the song. Because it could be a
Very.
blur. Eh? You could feel as though because DJs are such an integral part of the festival aspect of the culture, you could feel as though it's an agenda by the DJs to make certain songs big. And that happens. But being in the pandemic allowed us to see, apart from radio, apart from fets, apart from the DJs, people were developing a relationship with this song. And it allowed me individually to understand what this song meant and what it could mean and what I needed to do to prepare for it. I wasn't ready.
You wasn't ready.
You wasn't.
No, I wasn't.
I mean, coming from where we were coming from to happen upon a song like that, there's no way to be ready for that. Just so. You know, I don't think there's a way to just be ready for that just so. You know, you had to go through your own process. I can speak for myself. I don't know, maybe there are human beings out there who just get ready just so. But I'm not one of them.
I am.
Sorry.
No, that's not. I went through the movements. Like I had an inkling as I was a carnival girl, right? But I still wasn't sure how people would receive Freetown in those spaces, especially if we didn't match the energy. That was like, you know, at the back of my mind all the time. I'm a fetter. I know when I watch it on stage and something looking a little stale, you know, They go to the bar and get a drink. But we managed through that season. I think for me, Carnival Monday on the road, playing mass and hearing the song and going, okay, but seeing people's reaction then in outside of a fete situation, just tripping down the road to the lunch stop, the rain started to fall. And I was like, oh, like they have magic in this. People closing their eyes, singing. I was like, all right, okay, yeah. The first time I heard it on the radio, I was headed to the airport. And my friend called me and he was like, this y'all. And the Uber driver, she was like, quiet. She said, oh, you're sitting quietly there. And I think, again, it didn't really sink in. Yeah.
It didn't sink in.
My daughter is breaking to take me to the river, take me to the sea.
Whenever.
Yeah. Nah. She and her cousin, days we on Snapchat singing Freetown, where I am, really love
Mass.
everything.
Yeah.
So it resonates with them. She's 7, cousin is 6.
Wow.
You understand?
I missed it. So my story is a little different. I was shooting a film for most of Carnival that year in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So I missed everything after the recording of the song. And I came back, I think I came back probably just a few days before Carnival. So because of that, I didn't really have an idea, because when you're shooting, sometimes you're in 15-hour days, that kind of thing, right? So I was very much out of the loop and on some very remote locations at times. The most I knew, I think because I wasn't there, I had people messaging me when they did shows, being like, what going on here? Or the banner, like that. Because, backing out people. So I was like, no, I'm Miami, I'm shooting. And then I came back, and so much of the ball had already steamrolled forward. And then I came back, and I did not play Mars that year. So I fully missed the whole thing, and it's really long after the fact, because then we go into COVID. So long after the fact is when it kind of hit me. But that initial feeling everybody talking about, unfortunately, I missed that part of it.
Okay, so where the song is now, right? Where on you hear in that song every fete, every party, that song will play. You're walking in, and I'm talking about prime time, fete time, that song will play. You know what?
Every year for Carnival, right, they have a song that is the song that is go through the rest of the year, right? So some members have a crop of them. I mean, more and more we see a crop of them, right? But like I never forget the year with It's Carnival, for example. It's one of those songs that get huge on the road, Carnival Monday and Tuesday, and I just steamroll to the fact that it's still playing now, right? Yeah. We have songs like Marshall Haunted. And to me, Feel Love fall into that category where it was a slow build up to Trinidad Carnival, but you see on the road Monday and Tuesday, it just took on a whole new life of its own, and that life was able to carry it forward into whatever was to come next.
And we didn't
Depends
know.
on your perspective. Fortunately or unfortunately, that was the pandemic, which afforded us the luxury of taking the time to get the performance of it right. So that because they also have times when a song big, and then the artist come and perform it, and I'm
Go to the bar, get a
You're
drink.
going to the bar.
what are you doing? And your song so big, you're wasting my time. And we don't want that. No artist wants that. But some people don't realize that going to happen to them until it happens to them.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily we have each other to bounce ideas off of and to be able to chat about it and discuss it beforehand, so we could say, guys, we do the work it requires to get to the next place. And we were able to do that during the pandemic, thankfully.
Because when I know it will be a problem, a morning I wake up and saw a meme on Twitter, boy.
The stone memes, yeah, that was
with the stones, a group of stones, with the mouths.
Yeah, so they get memed basically.
Yeah, we got memed.
And these 3 stones were like making this kind of mouth. And say everybody in Trinidad, right?
A million people coming down, dancing to one song.
No, it was something about nobody. Something. Everybody in Trinidad. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. I saw that on Twitter too.
Yeah. But it's
guess we memed.
It's fine.
It's a real blessing. So like in the truest sense of the word, to be able to be a part of something like that. You know what I mean? I mean, the artists that probably go their entire careers and don't get something like that. We ain't done yet.
Oh, yeah,
No.
love
So,
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
The challenge now is to get
They
something
cha-
bigger than that.
the challenge is to not be remembered only by feeling love. You know what I mean?
Love, yeah.
But also in a sense, not a challenge in the way I might think like, boy, this is where we at. It very kind of, it's a nice place to be. It's a nice calling card to have. Now we have mass as well, so we
Yeah,
building
to
a
say
certain
already.
catalog within. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like that. I like now that we have these two songs that regardless of whatever we come into our space, these are two songs that
I
might.
find out there's only leave out represent right through, and
Sorry.
I gonna stand up here and fight for
My
represent.
bad.
2012.
Because
My
before where I am, before Feel the Love, Marsha did a collaboration with Freetown, and it was Represent. It was a remix to Represent, and
Yeah,
we
sorry.
can still sing that song in parties.
No,
and
it's
everybody-
huge. It's a huge song. It's a huge song.
Sunday go on like a big stink forward.
This song is huge. This
And
song
they
is
just
huge.
leave it to the wayside.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
go like
Sorry.
that for the song.
We
Do better.
we are.
Rockers are here, the feelings down.
He's right.
No, he's right.
right.
He's right.
No,
My
it's
bad.
fine. It's
Most
fine.
times.
It's fine.
He's right. Represent.
He's
Represent actually was when Represent came out. Lou and I were in a much different place, and I don't think we ever understood how big that song was until Rockers came back and was like, I can't speak for Lou, but I didn't understand it until Rockers came back and was like,
No, we did understand. We had political reasons for not performing this.
I didn't know. I knew it was big. I didn't know it was that big, Lou.
Okay.
I really
was
didn't know people were
big.
so attached to the song that we were singing the song. What would have been almost 7, 8 years later when we started boxing it in the set and just seeing people's reactions like, oh shit, all right. But it wasn't into Carnival. I wasn't on the road. I wasn't around to see what
was
that
in the
song did.
clubs.
I remember being in the mosque and hearing his song on the truck outside. You know what I mean? So
Wow. Feel the love. Can we play it for everybody?
yeah.
Oh, sure.
Are you going to do
They
what?
represent.
Are you going to get your flag? Like in the Just
I-
Vibes thing?
A flag can fit inside of
What's
here.
going on here, man?
Yeah, the small flag, right?
The flag's just there.
Small flag.
Just do this
Small
one
flag.
right
You have
here.
to give everybody that come into Dingwell at Camden Lock an idea of what it is expected. So you had to wave the flag and
So you want me to wait
just
the flag?
like you was doing it on another Sunday.
All right. Okay, all right.
Now Johnny, you
Brace
also
yourself.
run, but watch the cameras.
You want me to run?
Nah, we spoke about
Wait, we spoke about other things. You remember what we were talking about? My
Wow.
run is like
Yeah,
3
wow.
step, you know. My run is 3 step.
Well, you can
Just
walk.
Wave the
You
flag.
can-
Wave the flag and yeah,
All
wave
right,
the
I
flag.
could just wait this one, all right?
Yeah.
Dingwell, screw up with your flag.
Woo.
All right.
It's fine.
Yeah, put your foot down, man.
don't let them don't let them walk all over you now, buddy.
Hold on.
Don't let nobody walk all over you now.
Hold on.
I just
Let
say
people walk all over you, buddy.
I just say there's a step in the right direction.
Rockers.
On your own four, buddy.
Luke,
Yes.
Luke,
Nice.
Luke. Let me come now, man.
I'll take a step back.
Yeah, look, come now, man.
Wait, but is Anna also a flag waver?
Annie can wave it.
You press play.
Yeah, Annie can wave it. So I go press play.
Annie go put it.
Yeah, well,
That flag wave look a little
well, I know about that, but
Hold on.
let me go.
Annie show them
Give
the
it
man
time.
power. You wave that flag.
God find peace anywhere you come from. Coulda up, you coulda down. Blessings and management.
Nah, give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. You gotta know. You gotta go from here so. From here so.
This city can't my vibes too high. And my heart is jumping right now. You will touch the sky. Feel my love unfolding like a laughing flame. All who did not know me when people coming down. That's
What they doing?
Love is life and life is love. Life is love.
A man light.
Can you feel Yeah.
Ready?
1, 2,
1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't slap him. Don't slap him.
Nobody would clap it.
Slap him with it.
Annie, let me show you.
This is your job, then.
professional ladies and gentlemen.
take me to the river. Take me to the sea.
My man put that left.
Watch your music. Make me your melody.
Really?
are such a blessed tribe, sweeter than a million bees. People live 1,000 lives and never feel this free. Coming down, that's
Hey, love it, love it, love it. Love is life and life is love.
Somebody phone.
Can you feel the lights in the air? But if you feel it, let me hear you say, dancing, moving everywhere. If you feel it, let me
Stabby, go, Stabby.
Unfortunate. I tried to be have something for him.
You don't have to
You
do
told man,
Oh, yeah.
na na na. Can you feel the love that's in the air?
Feel the love.
One thing you have to note about the song too is that the arrangement of the song, this man have a lot to do with the arrangement of the song. Like the arrangement of the song is very Freetown.
And stopping you from bringing a shit second verse.
Yeah, and stopping me from bringing the next song. Well, yeah, we can get into that.
No, let's get into it.
No. We do.
No, because that's part of the story of the song.
Uh-huh.
Part of the story of the song is Muhammad is our vessel. And I guess part of the story of Freetown is all of us have come to appreciate that. So we, apart from singing in the band, our secondary job is to save him from himself. Because sometimes when the music passes through him, he gets to a place where he just wonder if people will love it. No, that's
No, you experience it self-doubt earlier.
Yeah. So we sometimes, not sometimes, but most times have to be ready to let him know, nah, it's fine. The song is
It's
good.
fine.
The song is
I went
good.
home and wrote a
believe in
whole
it.
other song.
Because he didn't believe in the
Came
song.
back home, came back to the studio and said, "Hey, we're going on." I feel like the song is like me being very airy fairy again. Like I feel like I'm not grounded enough with the song. I've written something that I feel is more well. Here it is, and they was like, "We don't even want to hear that, no, brother." Like, wherever it is, I want a piece of paper, move from here with that.
Sing that outside.
Really?
Yeah.
And look at now.
No, I mean,
now.
look, my one thing that I will always put forward is that I'm not gonna hide my vulnerability. I'm not gonna sit before anybody and
That's a
pretend
superpower.
that I am anything I'm not, right? And I would love to be one of them people who just confident about everything all the time. What I do know is when the moment comes, I step up and I do what I need to do. But as an artist, dog, we go through this. I remember Lauren Hill saying the difficulty about being an artist is that you go through all these things in the background and then you have to make this perfect version of the thing, and people see the perfect version and they don't understand the level of work and the work in yourself that you're constantly going through that people not seeing, you know what I mean? And yeah, I kind of tired, especially within the Caribbean, the narrative of this man who just always have it. I don't always have it, dog. I don't. You know? I don't always have it.
See that day, the honesty, that's what rings true more than anything else. And that's what everybody should aspire to do for themselves. And I said it before, didn't I?
Yeah,
Being honest, you know, once it is you're honest within yourself, you know, and
To be your
and,
best.
and to even do it on a worldwide scale, where it is you're talking to people that don't know who Freetown is, and to hear that everybody does have doubt.
Yeah.
Everybody not 100% confident all the time. But when it is your step on the stage and you know who you are and you're given 100%, then it just rings through the right way. You know, and we as fans of Freetown, we love it. And we want it to continue.
I'll clue you into an inside joke, right?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh,
When
Jesus.
no.
This is Lou, eh? He's the troublemaker inside this group here.
I am
He's
so
telling
not.
truth.
I am
He's
so
telling
not.
truth.
I'm so not. When it was just Muhammad and I, and just two voices, two guitars, it was weird. And we also had a lot of peers who were also musicians. And I would admit they were better musicians than I could ever be, than we could ever be. And talk used to come back, and fellas just stay in school, and fellas just stick with spoken word. And I mean, at times it used to really mess with our self-esteem. And we came up with a mantra that literally helped us for that 5 years. Every time we showed up to work together, we used to look at each other and say, while they were discussing
The
how
way
we was
we're
doing things,
we're just doing things.
And feel the love to me is the epitome of that. Don't let the doubt stop you from trying. Go with your whole chest. Even if you're not sure what you're doing, gotta go. Let people talk about it. You was doing it.
Yep. That's why they say it with your whole chest.
Because regardless of what the reality is, that once you begin to produce on a certain level and you're able to access what I feel we have now access, which is like, almost like there's a vein of current of culture that running through, and you're able now to kind of maybe put your little finger in it, maybe just, but access it in some type of way. Once you begin accessing and channeling that, everybody kind of had a hush, You gotta kind of watch now and maybe hope the person fall now if you don't like them or whatever. But you kind of had to just say, well, okay, let them do what they're doing.
Yeah.
Not even let, but,
Well, like I said, we at a Shot of Soca want all you to continue doing what you're doing.
Give thanks.
Continue doing what you're doing.
While they're
You're
talking,
grateful.
keep working. Because we love it. We will always try to endorse it, support it, push it 100%.
Man, stand up for
You know?
me.
Well, you're
Hey, last one.
I done.
We done.
I am finished.
We done.
You know, we at Carib Culture, Myra Studios, a Shot of Soca, Super Trini Vibes, Annie, the wonderful Annie, my co-host, yeah. You know, we say thank you. And we want to make sure you all plug Friday properly. Right?
We touched on it, but
You know,
what's going on Friday? What's
we want
going
to plug Friday
Real
properly.
things happening Friday. First of all, we're dropping a brand new song on Friday. It's called Dream. And then we have a whole show too.
We should have dropped it.
So this show is important for a couple of reasons. Since we started putting serious effort in creating our own space in Carnival, we've created our franchise of Carnival shows called Welcome to Freetown. And what that is we invite not only our core fan base or core audience, but everybody else to come to a quiet space in the madness where you could explore the full range of your emotions. Yes, being excited, being motivated, being hyped is a part of it. We never want to take away from that, because that is some people's release that is very therapeutic. Can't take that away from people. However, if you need a space to process and cry and embrace somebody, and if you don't have nobody, hug yourself and not feel weird and not feel as though you're bringing down the vibes of your crew. But that's also very important in Carnival. Like, you are not the kill vibes. You could come to a Freetown show and experience the full range of your own emotions and not feel weird when the music pulls things out of you that you didn't plan on showing. And so now that we're in London, we are extending that hospitality to our fan base here and whoever is interested in figuring out who Freetown is. But we're also taking the opportunity to honor the children, grandchildren, and the family of the Windrush generation. People who made the sacrifice to come to London in search of a better life and had to deal with other challenges other than the weather. And
Cool things.
And through those challenges help to refine and recreate the Caribbean identity that the world now loves, but Londoners don't get credit for it. We want to say thank you, and there's an entire part of our set that is dedicated solely for the Windrush generation and the descendants of those.
So where is the show? Can we?
It is at Dingwalls in Camden, 7:30.
7:30 showtime.
Yeah.
You could get your tickets. Let me borrow this. Welcome to Freetown. Windrush Destination Home, right? That's what it's all about. Freetown, dingwalls.com, eventbrite.com. You can get your tickets. We are freetown.love as well, right? You can get your tickets there. Don't worry about the price. We are Freetown. Welcome to Freetown. We want to see all you there this Friday, right? And I tell you all your first hand, if all you wasn't there on Sunday, all you ain't even know the levels they're going to reach with Olia come Friday. And we want everybody to come and join us, come and jam with Freetown Collective because, and it's 10-year anniversary as well. 10-year anniversary. So it's just going to be an extra special night, So Freetown Collective, welcome to Freetown. A special tribute to the Windrush generation as well. Make sure you all get your tickets and come and join them on Friday in London, performing live on stage. And watch me see them, the ladies right there, vocals. Vocals for day, watch me, hard, range like woy. So make sure they get your tickets and come and check it out. All right? We want to say thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
We want to endorse you all once again. Freetown Collective. If you don't know them, get to know them. Follow them. Be a part of their journey because it is going to enrich your journey.
Their music will touch you.
Follow us on Spotify.
Yes.
Follow us on Spotify.
You could get all our music there and keep abreast with our upcoming releases.
Yep. And I will say, I love their music videos. The visuals are beautiful. So go on YouTube and watch the videos as well. Thank you.
Follow us there too.
Visuals are good.
Yeah.
Hey, let me say thanks for having us, guys. And thanks for doing this for the culture, for the music, for the industry, and for your peers and people in London. We appreciate it. I mean, just having a space that we know Caribbean people can come and express themselves and be honest and to facilitate the culture. It's fantastic that you guys have taken the initiative to do this. So please continue to do it because it's not going unnoticed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Big up, Olia.
Let's go, Olia.
Super, guys.